So, picture this. Your next job offer comes with a clause asking you to license a digital version of yourself to the company. Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, it's just one of the wild predictions we're diving into today from Gartner's latest report on the future of AI.
Last year, Gartner talked about AI as this massive avalanche, right? This huge force just roaring down a mountain coming straight for us. But this year, they've completely changed the metaphor. Now it's an AI whirlwind, and that's a whole different ballgame. It's not just coming at you anymore, it's a swirling storm that's pulling everything and everyone right into its center.
And let's be super clear here. We are not just talking about a cool new piece of software. This whirlwind is a fundamental, game-changing force. Gartner's basically saying it's coming for everything. Our privacy, our identities at work, it's creating brand new risks for businesses, and it's even threatening the entire way our companies are structured.
Okay, so let's jump right into the first big thing getting sucked into this storm. And it's something that could be hitting your employment contract sooner than you think, your digital self.
I mean, think about that for a second. Could your company literally own a digital version of you? It sounds kind of crazy, but Gartner isn't talking about some distant future. They're saying this is right around the corner. Imagine an AI twin of you, one that keeps on working even after you've clocked out for the day.
And if you think that's far-fetched, look at this number. Gartner predicts that by 2027, that's just a few years away, a whopping 70% of new employee contracts will have clauses in them about licensing an AI version of you. 70%!
So what are we actually talking about here? The term they use is AI persona, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A digital copy of your likeness, your know-how, even the way you act and make decisions. And the whole point for the business is to use it to simulate what you do and, well, get more value out of you.
But it gets even wilder. It's not just about copying your work output. All that data used to build your AI persona, it can be used for other stuff too. Gartner thinks that by 2028, 40% of big companies will be using AI to measure, and get this, even influence how employees are feeling, all for the sake of the bottom line.
It makes sense, right? When you've got this much power swirling around, the risks get bigger too. The AI whirlwind isn't just changing how we work, it's creating totally new dangers. And that means we're going to need totally new ways to defend ourselves.
Just take a look at where security threats are headed. By 2028, Gartner is forecasting that a full quarter, 1 out of every 4 enterprise breaches, won't be from the kind of hacking we're used to. Nope, they'll come from rogue AI agents that are acting on their own.
So, faced with this brand new, almost invisible kind of threat, what are companies going to do? Well, 40% of CIOs are going to start demanding a completely new kind of security.
And here's what that looks like. Guardian agents. The basic idea is, well, it takes an AI to catch an AI. These are AIs designed specifically to police other AIs, to track them, contain them, and make sure they're not going off the rails. Because let's face it, this stuff is moving way too fast for any human to keep up with on their own. And these risks, they aren't just in cyberspace. All this AI takes a ton of energy, so much so that it's creating real-world problems. Fortune 500 companies are expected to spend $500 billion, that's trillion with a T, just building their own private power grids to make sure the AI and everything else stays on.
All right, let's shift gears to what might be the biggest change of all. We're talking about how this AI whirlwind could completely tear up the old-school org chart and redesign it from scratch.
It's really like a chain reaction. First, AI starts automating all these complex decisions. Then, because the AI is doing that work, you don't need as many layers of middle management. And what happens next? The whole structure of the company just flattens out. That classic corporate pyramid gets squashed.
And the speed of this is just incredible. Gartner is saying that in just the next couple of years, through 2026, 1/5 of all organizations will use AI to get rid of more than half of their middle managers. That isn't just a small change, it's a massive, lightning-fast overhaul of the corporate structure.
And this isn't just about middle management. This goes all the way to the very top. By 2029, they're predicting that even corporate boards will be using AI to second-guess and challenge the decisions made by their own executives. So, the days of the CEO who just runs on gut feelings? Yeah, those might be numbered.
Okay, so our jobs, our identities, our company's security, it's all getting pulled into this vortex. The big question is, how do we get through this storm without being completely torn apart? How do we find a safe way to land?
Gartner's advice is pretty blunt, actually. You can't fight the storm, and you can't just wait for it to blow over. You have to learn how to ride the whirlwind. What does that mean in practice? It means you need to be rewriting those employment contracts today to figure out the rules for these AI personas. It means you start planning for those huge organizational changes because they're coming. And most importantly, you have to weave AI into absolutely every part of your business strategy.
I think the big thing to really wrap your head around is this. Asking what's next after AI is just the wrong way to think about it. The future isn't something that's coming after AI is done. The future is going to be built by AI. It's not just another tool in the toolbox, it's a foundational force that's going to mix with and change everything.
Which really brings us to the choice that every single one of us has to make. This whirlwind is here, and it's pulling all of us in. So the real question for you, for your boss, for your entire company is, are you just going to grab on and hope for the best? Or are you going to start building the sails to actually catch that wind and use its power?